Well, hello, Fools. It's Robert Brokamp, Senior Advisor for the Motley Fool's Rule Your Retirement Service, and we're back with another installment of Ask a Fool. Today's question comes from Rick. He says, I am 12 to 13 years from retirement and would like a dividend fund for my 401k or a Roth that I plan to set up. Do you have any suggestions or advice? So first of all, let's be clear on what a dividend is. When a company makes money, it can do two things with that money. One of them is to reinvest in the business, hire more people, buy equipment, maybe buy another company, or the company can send that cash to the shareholders in the form of a dividend. They usually come out every quarter. Now, Rick's smart to keep these in his tax advantage accounts, his 401k or as an IRA, as he's saving for retirement, because the dividends that a company pays every year are taxable if they're not in a tax advantage retirement account. He wants to keep those in the account so he doesn't have to pay taxes on the dividends. That leaves more money for him to reinvest and grow over the long term. And that reinvestment is very important when it comes to dividend investing. When you reinvest the dividends, you buy more shares. More shares pay more dividends, which allow you to buy even more shares, and so on and so on. And this is even more powerful when you think of the fact that dividends historically have grown at a rate that exceeds inflation. So you're basically accumulating more and more shares that pay you more and more dividends. In fact, even if the price of the stock doesn't move over 10, 20 years, you can still make money as much as maybe 6% to 8% annualized just from reinvesting the dividends, even if the stock price doesn't move. Now, it is important to stay diversified. Some of the biggest dividend payers back in the 2000s, or the early 2000s, were banks, financial services companies, and we know what happened to them in 2008 in the Great Recession. Many had to cut their dividends, and many of them had not been able to pay the dividends, or at least pay at a rate where they were before 2008. So it's important to stay very diversified. One way to do that, as Rick suggests, is a fund. The fund will buy all kinds of dividend payers. The funds have different criteria. Many of them choose companies that have been paying dividends for 10 or 20 years. So these are companies that, generally speaking, historically have been reliable for paying a dividend and increasing that dividend over time. Two of the most popular are the Vanguard Dividend Appreciation ETF, the symbol is VIG. Then the other is the SPDR S&P Dividend ETF, the ticker is SDY. And those are two of the most popular, but there are many others, including dividend payers, ETFs that focus on dividend payers from other countries, ETFs that focus on dividend payers that are smaller companies. So do your own research and decide which fund is right for you. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any other questions, visit us at Fool.com.